Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my brothers and sisters and lovely subscribers. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, enjoying yourselves. Let's just go on Instagram and just Instagram this then for the Instagram people out there. Right, so today's been Juma and we've only got half an hour or so left of Juma remaining. So remember, this is the time for du'as, guys. Yeah, so make sure you remember everyone here in your du'as. Right, so let me just sub here Q&A Friday, and this is the last live stream, Friday live stream of the year, guys. The last Friday live stream of the year. So you know what that means. That means end of the year. Okay, so right, let's go. Connection. So welcome, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome to Instagram people as well, and wa alaikum assalam, mashallah, my brother Abdul Majid Hussein, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Caribbean boy, yes man, assalamu alaikum, mashallah, marhaban. Oh, nice to see you, my brother from the Caribbean, from Guyana. Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. How's things been, bro? Are you back in Guyana? Abdul Majid, Sahlan Sufyan, wa alaikum assalam, my brother Sufyan. What's happening, my bro? What's happening? What's the latest in Derby? What's Derby saying? And Mudassir Mujtaba, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, guys, all of you wonderful people. Ahlan wa sahlan. Now, so I've been chilling out on my holidays, relaxing, just catching up on all my reading and other stuff. And if you guys want a piece of advice, yeah, if you guys have a busy schedule, make sure you guys have a proper holiday. Like, you don't have to go anywhere. Just make sure you cut yourself off from everything and do something totally different. Otherwise, what happens is you get burnt out. So if you guys don't want to get burnt out, then just relax, have your time as well. Yeah, chill out, enjoy yourself, take some breath of fresh air. And I've been doing that, as you can tell. MashaAllah, I look relaxed as well. Ahlan wa sahlan, people on Instagram. Welcome. Islamic Society, Literary Society. Welcome. Wa alaikum assalam. Siratul Mustaqim. Wa alaikum assalam. Thoughts on misyar marriage? How does misyar marriage work, my brother? And then I'll explain to you. Right, so AC, wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Caribbean boy, yeah man, Caribbean boy. Don't worry, me and Abdul Majid is gonna come to Caribbean. We're gonna come to all the islands. Yeah, all the islands to visit nice Caribbean. Muhammad Mullah, wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan from Medina Munawwara. Allahu Akbar. You are from the most blessed place. Out of all the subscribers and from me as well, you are in the most blessed place, mashallah. So make sure you make loads of du'as for us. Alhamdulillah. How are you finding your umrah so far? Umran Ali, wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. My brother Umran Ali, kya hal hai? Hyderabadi. Mashallah, Umran got first prize in his talk. Mashallah, well done. I heard the talk as well. Very nice. Inshallah, hopefully, inshallah, one of the future speakers. Yeah, one of the future international speakers, Umran Ali. How are you doing? How frequent should the holiday be? So it all depends on the person, I would say. I say personally, for myself, maybe after every 6 or 7 weeks, there should be like a little break, at least a few days break, 2 or 3 days break. Definitely. Caribbean boy, does the masjid make bad dua for the people who abandon it? And what's the reference? I have not come across any of this reference. If you can maybe, if anyone knows a hadith or anything that they might have heard, I have never come across one. But no, I mean, the idea basically is that if people abandon the masjid, collectively, no one goes to the masjid, then there is fear of sin. This is why, according to Hanafis, Salah in the Jama'ah is considered to be, and one riwayah in the Hanafis says wajib, and one sunnah mu'akkada. Yeah, so it's one of like the sha'air of the Muslims, the emblems of the community that people occupy the masjids. How to improve Arabic ibarat and advice. So I would say, Mudassir, what have you studied so far, my brother Mudassir? Alhamdulillah, obi my du'as. Allahu Akbar. Allah, Immullah's du'as. That's it, bro. Where's your pictures? You're sending pictures of geometry. Send some nice pictures, bro. You're welcome to Guyana and the Caribbean, inshallah. Inshallah. Yes, man. One day, inshallah. One day, when I become very, very famous, inshallah, I'm making YouTube videos, all different places, inshallah. Coming to Guyana, inshallah, it's going to be one of my stops. Suriname as well. I got to go to Suriname as well. Because brother NS keeps telling me I got to come to Suriname. Hyderabad mein hal theek hi hai. Jazakallah khair for your good assumption. Ameen, ameen, inshallah. My brother Anas Wahba, Allahu Akbar. Allah, another awliya of Allah, two awliya of Allah from Aston University in Medina. Allahu Akbar. So have you guys met each other? Or is Mullah trying to, do the kind of like hiding, introvert hiding tactics? Have you heard of the introvert hiding tactics? Which, whereas you see someone that you know, but then you try to avoid them, you try to hide as though you haven't seen them, and then leg it. We're essentially done with year one finals before Ramadan, so a couple of months from now, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And how did you, I want you to write down for me what you found in your year one. Yeah, because I'm writing up at the moment questions that I want to answer regarding studies. Remember, I was telling you guys about this. So inshallah, I'll make a video on, I think I'll make a video on maybe like in tens, the 10 questions about studies. And I don't know, you tell me, what should I name that series? Sarah, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, Sarah. I hope you're well. Enjoying yourself? Right. Masir Ali, wa alaikum assalam, my brother from America. From the East Coast. I hope you're okay, Masir. I hope you've been staying indoors, away from all that freezing cold. And your freezing cold is going to be coming towards the UK. Really realize I need to work a lot more on mantiq and nahw and sarf, inshallah. Inshallah. I am very well. Thank you very much, my brother. I'm very well. How are you? AMN, Aman. Aman wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Aman. Abdul Majid Hussein, your patwari is a bit, your patwa, patwari, isn't it? Patwari. My patwari as well needs a bit of brushing up. Your patwa is just a bit, you know what, man? I know, because I have to like use swears in it and every other, so I don't want to do that. I'll email you, inshallah. Fourth year Darsi Nizami. I know most grammar rules, but still struggling with reading. So what I would say is you need to start reading children's Arabic books. Read loads, as many as you can. I would say that is the like you can say the secret of boosting your Arabic literacy. You need to read as many Arabic storybooks as you can, novels, whatever you get your hands on. That's really going to boost you, without a doubt. We're staying in the same hotel, alhamdulillah. Oh, yeah, Medina together, Allah, awliya of Allah. That's it. Now, this is why we've been feeling so down in the UK, because two of the eminent individuals, have deprived us of their OT. Thoughts on book Maratib al-Ijma' by Ibn Hazm. Good book. He was Zahiri. I haven't read it fully. I've read sections of it. So he kind of like believes in Sahaba's ijma, but doesn't accept the other ijma. So I would only be able to comment on it if I read it fully. Yeah, I've read sections of it when I was doing my evolution of fiqh. Should I send a WhatsApp? Yes, send it to me on WhatsApp. It's warmer. I can walk outside with only a shirt. Allahu Akbar. Yeah, only a shirt. Please, Baijan, please put some, shalwar on as well. Any good introductory books on mantiq? I would say there is. So it depends. I personally think people should learn mantiq in their own language first, and then they should go on to. If you want to learn in Arabic, then I have a friend in Turkey who actually is doing a series Let me just post for you his series. He's got a beginner series, very very easy. If you understand Arabic, you are gonna love the series. Honestly, you're gonna love it. Let's see where it is. Okay, yeah. So it's on a on a YouTube channel called Nibras. There is. Okay, here it is. So this is for those who want to learn mantiq. And I would say you can learn it if you Google and just write logic, and you can learn it honestly. I would say learn it in your own language first, and then after that, go for it. Mantiq for beginners. I have actually done I started a series on my Uruk, but I didn't finish it off. I about 8 lessons on it in English. But this is Mantiq. Mantic. It's called Mantic, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? For starters. Right. Tons of development happened this year. Alhamdulillah. I'll send the details. Definitely send them. For the study questions, add how studying prepares you for role and alim society. All right, man. This is some very nice points. Let me just bring up my file page. Let's see if I can find. Okay, I'm gonna have to put it onto sticky tabs. Okay, so let's just okay, I can't seem to how studying preps you for the role of an alim in society. Or does it? How is studying worship? Excellent, beautiful, my brother. Okay, read English books on logic, and if interested, try mathematical logic. Yeah, I mean, definitely, logic is just a human thing, isn't it? Wa alaikum assalam, Ghazia, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Right. Also, we might ride Sunday. What time are you free? Yes, inshallah, from morning, anytime. Hope the weather's good. Practicing making and identifying arguments. Muhammad Prairie, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan from the Windy City, my bro. Well, a few things I've learned here is Uber is your best friend, and you're never more than 5 meters away from an Arabian oud store. Well, that's, you're gonna be smelling next level smelling you are. What is opinion when you learn something new? Which one is better learned through mother language or in Arabic? I would say through your own language. Anything you learn new, if you learn it through your own language first, you're gonna grasp more of it. If you learn through another language that you're not strong in, you're gonna miss out lots because language barrier. But then later on, you can learn it in a different language. What others do you like? I like kind of oud kind of smells, some like nice kind of how do I describe? Maybe some spice in there, not too fruity. I don't like too fruity smells. Yeah, those kind of smells. Yeah, the tones have to be like a nice. Zahir Rashid, hi, I'm very well, thank you very much. How to study any book? How to study any book is, I will tell you, the Feynman's technique is a very good technique if you ever heard of it. Feynman's technique is, he was a physicist in the 60s and 70s. He said, whatever you're going to study, first of all, get a pen and paper and write down everything you think you know about that topic, first of all. Once you exhausted everything that you know, then start studying the topic. Then when you study the topic, then what you have to do is go through all the contents and check what you're going to be studying, what you're going to be covering. And once you've done that, then after that, your mind will already be prepared for what's going to come. So I would say this is, almost the key to absorbing as much as you can from the subject. Assalamu alaikum Yasin, ala wa sahlan. The video you posted about making rakas bin musafir imam, so the person continues salat will not read Surah Fatiha in the rakat. Yes, I think I'll make that. This is where there's a difference of opinion between the Hanafi school and between the Shafi school and others. So the Hanafis basically say that the missed rakats with the Imam, those are the ones that you have to make up at the end. So if you missed one, therefore you make up one. So whatever you would normally read in one, Thana, Fatiha, Surah, you make that up. And in two, Fatiha, Surah. If you missed 1, 2, and 3, therefore in that same order, right? So the third one would be normally what you read only Fatiha in, and so forth like that. This is according to the Hanafi school. So I think I'll make that one. How to make most of anything? Yes, that's the way. Deenun Nasiha alaikum assalam. Are there any known Islamic practices for pregnant women, such as dietary restrictions? Not to my knowledge. There's nothing that's come in the Quran, nothing that's come in explicit hadith about this. These are some of the things that people, according to their times, they gave some advices. But there wasn't anything specific that's mentioned, for this. Quran mentions about Maryam alayhi salam that she drank sweet water and she ate ripe dates, or fresh dates rather. But besides that, we don't really have much mentioned about this. So a lot of people do ask questions about what does Islam say about, for example, COVID, or what does Islam say about a flu, or so Islam teaches you what you need for guidance to get to the akhirah. That's what it teaches you. So there's going to be certain things in life that the Quran and the Sunnah are going to leave it to you, right? As long as it's not haram to do, you're allowed to do it. Like taking paracetamol, for example, or anything of that sort, going for a little jog or bike riding, or anything that's going to be of that nature. Salam, should a menstruating woman read Surah Kahf on Friday? No. So she may be able to read the translation of it, but not the Arabic. Hit the likes. Excellent one there. Hit the likes, guys. Yusha, do Deobandis agree with Ibn Arabi? Is he a kafir? Also, are his views and Sufism present in Shar Aqaid and Safiya? So, to my knowledge, the Deobandi is not a belief system. This is what the first thing everyone has to understand. Deobandi is not a belief system. There's not a set of beliefs that all Deobandi people who graduate from Deobandi madrasas have to adhere to. Nothing like that. This is just a misconception that people have. So there will be difference of opinions on matters within the Deobandi school, just like there's difference, like the Azhari. So Azhari is not a school of thought. For example, like anyone who graduates from Azhar University doesn't mean that they all have to conform with the specific. No, it just means that it's just a way that they studied. So there's a difference of opinion regarding scholars of Ibn Arabi. From my teachers, I've heard no one say that he was out of the fold of Islam. Are his views and Sufism present in Shar Aqaid and Safiya by Ibn Tafzani? Not to my knowledge. 9:10 a.m. That's fine with me, my brother. The thing about Ibn Arabi is that he is misunderstood, and some of the books attributed to him are not really so. You should check out Al Rayhan fragrances. Okay. They have a new one called Red Oud. Red Oud sounds nice. Sounds dark. Omran, if you want new oud, just go to Jar Minar, bro. There is one madrasa in Pakistan. In the first 2 years, they teach you full Arabic until you speak Arabic naturally. Then, after that, they start with ilms. Is it good? Yes, very good. I know there's many madrasas in Pakistan like that. Many, alhamdulillah. Yeah, very definitely. It's up to you if you want to take that route. I actually studied in Pakistan in Arabic, purely in Arabic for 4 years. Just pure Arabic in the Alimiya course. Salamun alayka, ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. I do not know how to pronounce your name, my brother, but my brother from Bangladesh, after a long time you have back, alhamdulillah. Muhammad Prairie, last time we had a crazy snowstorm, but today is warm enough to walk only with a hoodie. Allahu Akbar. Just like Masir Ali just said that. What is Rafi Yadain, and why do people don't do it in my city if it is in Sahih Bukhari? So what is Raful Yadain? Raful Yadain basically means raising your hands before and after ruku. So basically, there is a big difference of opinion amongst companions of whether this should be done or not. And then number two, where should it be done? Should it be done before and after ruku? Should it be done only after? 1 second, I'm losing internet here. Yeah, should it be done after? So there are many narrations. Some narrations indicate the Prophet ﷺ used to do Raful Yadayn at the beginning of Salat, in before ruku, after ruku, in getting up from sajda, between the two sajdas, many different narrations. And this is where we look at what was the practice of majority of the Sahaba. From majority of the Sahaba, we have no narration that they used to do Raful Yadayn. Only from a handful of Sahaba, and the young Sahaba only, not the senior Sahaba, that they did it. Majority of people in Kufa didn't used to do it. Majority of Sahaba in Kufa didn't do it. And according to the Malikis, lots of people in Medina didn't do it. Okay, so this is why so just because something comes in Sahih Bukhari, it doesn't mean that you do it. Yeah, or it doesn't mean that you don't do it. That's Imam Bukhari's own personal position on something. There's no Arab podcast now. I want to restart it, but at the moment I just been a bit tied up with things. I have a lot of oud already. I was recommending Usab, a nice seller in the UK, also any specific store. Okay. And alaikum salam. But if you miss 2 rakats, for instance, of Maghrib, you make up 1 and 2, but you sit at the first you are making up because that is your second turn. Yes, that's correct. When will you continue your book recommendation series? Yes. I totally forgot I was doing that one. Inshallah, I will start it, OT. I will start that. Book recommend series. Right. Do you have any native Arab speakers to learn with? Me, I mean, I don't really learn Arabic. I teach Arabic. So I have some native Arab friends, but I don't really speak to them that often. I have been studying Arabiya Bayna Yadayk with a teacher. What is the best way to get better speaking, living in? So how are you finding it? Are you able? How long have you been studying it? How do the lessons? How are the lessons? How much speaking goes on in, let's say, 1 hour? How to increase your exposure to Arabic is listening to more important or reading. Both are extremely important. If you want to be able to speak, you need to be able to listen. Listening is very, very important because you have to repeat a lot of things. Nasi, wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Please, can you write how a student of knowledge on a full-time Alimiya program or studying privately with Mashayikh should study a lesson so that they don't forget the lesson? You mentioned this before, but I don't remember. For example, prepare for the lesson, then take the lesson, then review the lesson, then review after. Okay. So basically, look, this is what some of my teachers used to have this way of studying, and they would say that whenever you want to really benefit from a lesson, number one, let's say, for example, our lesson is tomorrow. So today, prepare the lesson. Go through all of the lesson. Go through every single aspect of it. Try to understand it as much as you can for yourself. Yeah. How do you do that? So you do 4 things. Number one is read the text, all the text, read all the entire text. Yeah, from beginning to end. Yeah. Number 2 is try to highlight the words that are difficult. Yeah, difficult words, highlight them and try to find the meaning of them. Number 3 is try to find the sarf and nahu of the words. So all the grammar, the verbs, try to understand the sarf and try to understand as much nahu as you can in there. So for example, if there's a sentence, which one is a mubtada, which one is a khabar, fail, fa'il, all that. And then the last one is try to read it all again now, and then in your own words, try to explain what's being said. If you do these 4 things, then you will benefit, because the next day when you go into lesson, you'll only have to focus on a few points the teacher's telling you. Right? Otherwise, what happens is the teacher gives you all this information, and 80% of the information probably goes over your head or you forget it. So that way, because you prepared from before, you're going to retain most of it, and then you only have to add in the extra bits. And then after the lesson, what you do, go over the whole thing again. Right? Revise everything what the teacher said with your own notes, and then do that once a week again, and then you'll master it. The secret of retaining something is repetition. That is the secret of everything. Is there any hesitation in using oud spray with alcohol? No. More important, can you continue with Fawzul Kabir? Yes, I've actually started preparing for lessons for that. Definitely. Last week I was preparing lessons, collecting ayats and looking at how to explain it. In fact, I was even kind of tempted to say I'm going to start Hujjatullah Baligha. Yeah, because I like Hujjatullah Baligha a lot. It's very, very good. I think Hujjatullah Baligha is probably one of the most important books students or post students, graduates should read or should study to develop inside themselves like a wide understanding of how the Sharia like works, the rationale behind the Sharia. Um, Seems like you haven't had chocolate in a while. You actually did have chocolate. Yeah, but you're right. There is never any less chocolate. I actually went to my mom's house today and she gave me some mithai. Someone dropped it off for me. And I just took and just felt such a sugar rush. And my little nephew, he just grabbed the gulab jamun and shoved it in his mouth. Yeah, and he just ate all of it. So little kids can eat so much sugar. Sheikh, why Imam al-Aqaid of Ahl Sunnah is as like Imam Tahawi, Imam Maturidi, and Imam Abul Hasan Ashari didn't mention discussion any topics about Ahl Bayt of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about their books? I have no idea. If you want to teach live, I can attend. Actually, that might be a good idea. It's better for me to have an audience because I can think like my thinking pattern. It can actually be go towards the right way. Because when I'm teaching and I don't have an audience, like the way that I sort of present the lesson is very one lane. But when I have an audience there, they can ask questions and then I can elaborate more. And I know exactly how to present the lesson. My mother is in hospital for an infection. She had a high fever and has been shivering for 2 days. Please dua. Allah give her shifa kamil. Guys, make dua for OT's mother. May Allah give your mother shifa kamil. Lots of people nowadays, I mean, are having this problem of high fever. And yo, Sheikh, let's do a private study of Hujjat. Inshallah, Hamasir. Dua acceptance time. Please make dua. May Allah accept all of our duas, forgive our sins, make us people that Allah is proud of, fulfill our halal desires of this dunya. I mean, Salam. Any reading materials you recommend to help with intermediate Arabic reading comprehension? Yes. So kids' books. Habib, kids' books are very, very important. Let me just show you a website where these kids' books. It's called Hindawi. Yeah. So go on this website. There are kids' books here. Yeah. And you'll find loads of kids' Arabic story books. So check that out. Muddathir wa alaikum assalam. Salam, Ustad. Hope you are well. Alhamdulillah, my brother Akib. Could you quickly go over our correct Aqidah, especially about Yawm al-Qiyamah? I can't go over Aqidah, my brother, because I don't have much time. But if there's a specific kind of question that you have with regards to a certain point, I can explain that. I find it easy because I read Arabic and Alim course in second year, mainly just using it for Arabic conversation. Speaking is mainly just for the students taking turns. Reading the book, yeah. So there needs to be a lot of speaking without book. So you need to speak a lot without book. Yeah. So I would say if you're ever teaching a language lesson, there needs to be 90% of the lesson needs to be students interacting, speaking. Yeah, and not just like one guy has a turn and then everyone else is just sitting there waiting. It's not like a cricket match. Two guys are batting and everyone else is just fielding. Got with you guys someday. Husband Sharif, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Can you do a crash course? What happens after death? Yeah, actually, that's a good one. You come up with you guys some good ideas, bro, today. Yeah. What happens after death? All right, so I'm going to go for a Maghrib break, inshallah, and I will be back after Maghrib, inshallah. So stay tuned, inshallah, and I will be back after Maghrib. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, guys. Right. So, let's just put this back up again then. So then, is there something I can do on my own outside of the class for speaking? I have two friends I can talk with. Yes. So speak as much as you can. So basically, when it comes to language, you have to. There's like, it's like swimming. If you don't throw yourself in the water, you're never gonna learn. Right? There is no easy way about it. You have to speak with people. You have to practice as much as you can. That's basically how it works. Yeah. So speak as much as possible, and you'll see your Arabic will develop on its own. Ideally, you should get people whose level of Arabic is as good as yours or better. Ideally, get people whose Arabic is always better than yours. Just like when you're learning anything, try to aim towards people who are more advanced than you. And that way, you're going to have to work hard to reach up to that level. Yeah. And what I used to do when I was studying, if I didn't have anyone to speak to, I would just speak to myself. Right? Just describe what you see around yourself. Try to translate when you hear someone say something. Try to translate what you say, what you would say in Arabic. And I even till today, when I hear something and I'm just like bored, doing nothing, I probably will just listen to someone speaking, and then I'll just try to in my head try to translate how would I say this in Arabic or something like that. Accuser. Okay, done. Perfect. أهلا وسهلا أهلا وسهلا. وإليه المصير. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Fresh Prince of Pakistan. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام يا شيخنا الكريم، كيف حالك؟ أنا بخير الحمد لله. الآن صليت المغرب، والآن أنا في راحة معكم. كيف حالك أنت؟ عطلتي ما شاء الله كانت جميلة جدا. نعم، أنا استمتعت كثير جدا ورحت نفسي راحة يعني كبيرة. أرسلان الشهزاد، وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Would you recommend having reading sessions with friends in certain books of fiqh like Sharh Wiqaya if one doesn't have a teacher? Yes, definitely. This is a very, very important thing, to have reading sessions where you can discuss things between your friends. Very, very important. It really helps develop not only ibarat reading skills, right, but it also helps develop discussion skills as well. Discussing, arguing skills, not arguing in a bad way, but in a sort of like within like controlled environment. Boy, what is maqasid al-sharia? Some scholars like Ibn Ashur apply it, and those scholars say that hudud are not carried in present times, and those. So maqasid is a big topic. We don't have time to discuss about maqasid, and I don't think Ibn Ashur is dropping the hudud. So maqasid basically means that you look at the spirit of the sharia. What is the spirit of the sharia when it comes to praying salat? Like, they believe that all the ahkam are governed by certain overarching principles. Yeah. So for example, like salat, overarching principle; zakat, overarching principle; marriage, overarching principle; talaq, overarching principle; even fighting against the enemies, jihad, overarching principles; inheritance. So they have these overarching principles. How many overarching principles are there? So some say there's 5, and some say there's more than 5. So it was a movement that basically tried to uh, replace the usul fiqh to a large degree. Yeah, it was like that kind of thing. But scholars do accept it, but to what extent do they accept it? That's the issue. So it's not that some scholars accept it, some scholars don't. No, it's where scholars, to what extent do you accept it? How effective is it? And if you go on YouTube, you can Google on YouTube and just find out Maqasid al-Sharia, and then you got loads of people talking about it. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Uncle Manzoor, Ahlan wa sahlan, Ameen, Ameen, Jazakallah khair for your kind, lovely du'as. MashaAllah. Long time no see, my brother. Doing Matan Al-Izzi and Isa Goji from Seekers, yeah, definitely excellent. And mashallah, Seekers are providing lots of free courses for people around the world in the English language and now even in the Arabic language. So those of you guys who are interested, serious, and would join those courses, watch those courses, you will benefit a lot, yeah, without a doubt. And it's good to study a course as opposed to just listen to little sound bites. So sound bites, like people just listen to a 5 minute clip on this or a 2 minute clip on this and try to understand Islam through 2 minute clips. That is not the right way to go about it. These little short little clips are just there just to clarify certain points. They should only be used as a necessity. That's it. They shouldn't be used as a long-term goal to understand Islam. If you want to understand Islam, you have to do a structured syllabus. You have to go through structured course just to try and understand a concept within 5 minutes. Like they say, you're having a laugh. Yeah, you're not really taking it seriously, I would say. Sheikh, I have a very important question. Did Sahaba had balagha like when they do tadabbur? Yes, of course. Of course. Yeah, they had balagha. Definitely. Farid, wa alaikum salam. Barakallah feek. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Farid, jazakallah khair. So when people say, did Sahaba have nahu? Did Sahaba have sarf? Of course, it was their language. Balagha, nahu, and sarf. Grammar, all these things are simply um, a natural sort of like built-in laws of the language. Even in English, when we speak, I'm speaking in balagha. If I brought someone who's an expert in balagha of English and I say, okay, point out all the balagha rules I'm using, they'll point them out. I'm using the rules of our English grammar. I'm using the rules of syntax and all these in English. So when people say the Sahaba, where Sahaba spoke balagha, of course they did, but they didn't have names for the rules. They didn't codify. It was codified later on. Have you seen the Seeker's Guidance course for Bayna Yadayk? And do you find I haven't not seen it? No, I wouldn't be able to say. Especially in topics not focusing on Aqidah, Sirah, so yes, definitely. Madaris usually lacking these. Again, definitely, don't just study whatever you said in the madrasa. Don't just suffice with that. Always increase your knowledge. Always study extra things outside. I studied a lot outside of madrasa for 7 years with my own studies. I was also studying outside of madrasa a lot, right? Because you just need it. You always need to study as much as you can if you want to develop yourself, right? There's no like a limited number of things you study and that's it. You can put your books away. It's a lifelong journey, basically. Right? There are so many different challenges you're going to face. So yeah, it's a lifelong journey. Let me just put this on. So what did you guys think of the Salat video that I made? Did you guys enjoy it? The video about how to catch up on missed rakats. Yeah, so that's something which I'm thinking of making more of. So let me know what you guys think, or any suggestions that you guys might have. Put in the comments, inshallah, because that's something which I'm actually looking into developing more of. So it makes it easy for people to be able to understand very, like, almost you can say tricky, like confusing topics. You like the video, yeah? Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Yeah, I think if you give me ideas of what kind of questions people would have, like someone's asked about Maghrib, how would Maghrib work? Someone asked, what do you recite when you get up from Salat? And if you give me some more ideas of different topics as well, hopefully I can come up with ideas in my head of how I can make these. Supplement with more, yeah? Some scholars in Balagha go very deep and actually deduce meaning, but they are always like, there are 3 reasons for this word sentence order and we don't know what's the correct. No, that they don't say that. Yeah, they don't say that. They do go into different meanings because the language has capacity for that. Yeah, but they don't say they won't say, oh, we don't know which meaning here. No, because all the meanings can be applicable as long as it doesn't go against the Sharia itself. But I would rarely find that they would say we don't know which meaning, like as in we're confused. No, because those meanings are all viable most likely. Some people had question on Maghrib. I recommend adding that plus witr. And oh yeah, witr is a good one. Oh yeah, Eid one, isn't it? Yeah, that's a confusing one. In your opinion, should knowledge be sought from Nomani Khan? I don't know. I mean, I've met him. Seems like a very nice person. I can't say everything that he's saying I would agree with. I may disagree with many things that he says, but I've heard a lot of people have studied with him and benefited a lot, I would say. I'm thinking Ajurrumiya, Sarf Mantiq with revision of my fiqh this year, then Usul fiqh and Usul Hadith. Usul fiqh, Usul Hadith with Aqidah next year. Sounds good. Sheikh, on your short video of praying behind the Musafir, did you say the Muqim prays the final two quietly, i.e., not recite at all? Yes. That's the Musafir one, isn't it? Yeah. So if there is a person who is a Imam who's a Musafir and the Muqim behind him, they have to make up the other two rakats. So they pray behind the Imam two rakats. Then when the Imam gives salam, they have to get up and they have to pray two rakats, but they pray as though they're behind the Imam according to Hanafis, i.e., they don't do any recitation. Yeah. So this is known as the mas'ala of the. It's like the mas'ala of the lahiq. They call it the mas'ala of the lahiq. Yeah. So the lahiq is the guy who has like come back to the salat, not the masbuk. So the masbuk has to recite. Masbuk is a person who's missed a rakat or two or more. Yeah, when he gets up. So basically, the difference between the masbuk and the lahiq is the masbuk, after the Imam gives salam, the rest of the salat is his own salat. Is his own salat. But the lahiq masala is when he gets up, he's still legally considered to be behind the Imam. What are the differences between Arabic storybooks, Bayna Yadayk and Qasas? Qasas is a storybook, but the Arabic is quite archaic, old Arabic. Kids' storybooks are more like, modern, easy to read. And Arabi Bayna Yadayk is more like conversational Arabic. I got an interesting take, Sheikh, go for it. Where a scholar told me other knowledge compared to Islam is not helpful in the hereafter, so focus on it. Does this mean if a person wants salvation, he should? I don't know, maybe you need to ask him, brother. Ustad, is there anything I can do if I was made to lead Salah at an airport masjid, but I later realized my clothes were not 100% pure with the followers' salam? So, what was on your clothes? And how much of it did you have on your clothes? How long does the muqim stand quietly? So roughly the amount of time that he would to read Fatiha. Yeah, so the amount of time that he would to read Fatiha, that long. Like a bina, like in bina, that's the one, bina, same. Like in bina. Would the followers' salah be valid? So he didn't send the whole message. Yeah, inshallah, if the followers are unaware of this and you carried on and you have no contact with them, then salah should be valid, inshallah. There's valid. But if you have contact with it, it all depends upon what was the impurity, how much of it was on your clothes, and yeah. And when did you discover that you had this on your clothes? If a person learns and does not teach and enjoying good and forbid, is he sinful? Allah knows best. Yeah. I mean, he's learned his knowledge, but if he doesn't act upon his knowledge, then he'll be sinful for that. Right. Anyway, let's change the color of the light, guys. Let me change the color of the light. Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? Actually, that looks quite good. Yeah, light blue kind of color. Okay, so yeah, so I think I'm gonna make more of those videos. I'll see, because I think a lot of people they online they seem to be enjoying short little videos, short little snappy videos. Although that's not the best thing to have, in my opinion. But also because I've also bought loads of these. I bought loads of these a month ago from I can't remember which shop I bought it from. I think was it Costco or maybe some shop. So I bought loads of these, and these are sticky. Don't know if the zoom working. Yeah, and these are more, so I can utilize these, and inshallah, you can use these, inshallah. I like to use Arabic Student Dictionary whenever I find words and sentences that I know in Arabic but not in. Is this good? Yes, you can do this. You can do it. Don't worry. Inshallah, it's good to use that. But the thing is, try to make it a habit to struggle with the Arabic words. Use an Arabic to Arabic dictionary, because you need to remember, learning is all about no pain, no gain. If you are learning something and you are not feeling pain, you're not feeling distress, you're not feeling, that means you're not going to be benefiting. Yeah, so it's very, very important that you always remember, don't take the easy ways in learning knowledge. As in, when I say easy, I mean the cheap methods in learning knowledge. Always go through the long route. Of course, you have to have a good teacher. A good teacher is basically someone who like injects the knowledge into you. So imagine like you have an injection. They give you the knowledge in such a nice way that it just you understand it without even thinking about it. And a poor teacher is one that explains something, but your mind is still trying to understand what they're saying. You're struggling to understand. Yeah. So the more you're struggling to understand, you're going to find lessons quite hard. That kind of struggle, I don't agree. Don't do that kind of struggle. Make sure you get yourself a good teacher, and that good teacher gives you the knowledge on a plate, and then all you have to do is just work hard to learn it. That's my teachers taught me that. The more you progress in ilm, the more cooler the names of the books become. Allahu Akbar. Check that out, bro. Lack of attention span due to social media and the instant gratification. Yeah. And they say, if you want to, I'm reading this book, it's called Deep Work. If you want to break out of, if you want to break out this idea of short attention span, you have to cut yourself off from everything and think deep. Whatever you're doing, whether it's like Islamic studies or any other studies, anything you're doing, you have to, and that way your mind starts to get used to like taking a long time, because it's like swimming basically. When you have a short memory span, it's like you dip in the water and dip out again. But if you have a deep memory, right, or you have a long memory span, you go deeper into the water, deeper, and then your mind can reach other things that you could never reach in short thinking. Yeah, so that's a good point there. So that's something which I remembered. Now, and that's actually one of the questions I'm going to be explaining when I do that list of studying things tips. Salam from Safura and Safia. Hello, Safura. Hello, Safia. How are you two? My two favorite nieces in what's it in in near my house. Yes, because my other niece is going to complain. She's ill today, so make dua for my niece. She's ill. But these are my other two nieces, Safura and Safia. It gets to a point where if you say you studied a book that has that type of name, you sound more knowledgeable than you actually are. Yeah, exactly. Why did Hazrat Umar eat bread and not other food? I've never heard that he only ate bread. Ustad, what can one do if you realize they hurt someone in the past? So if a person's hurt someone in the past, they need to apologize to them. If they can't apologize to them, they need to make dua for them, give sadaqah on their behalf, send them a gift. So what would you do basically in life if you're trying to make it up with someone that you've hurt? Same thing. Yeah, so those are the kind of things that I'm thinking maybe those are the kind of answers or questions I'm going to explain about studying, because a lot of people have these similar studying questions, and it's easier for me just to make a video now where I'll just know. I'm thinking, shall I do 5 points, 10 points? What are people into? Are they into 5? I think people who are serious will probably like the 10.1, where I go through 10 points of studying and explain them. And people who are into like short ones, it'll be 5 points maybe. So I don't know. What do you guys say? Do you guys like the 5 points one, 10 points one, or even 20 points one? The longer they are, the less attention people are gonna give. You say try to use Arabic to Arabic dictionary and read hard books. This takes more time, but if it's harder, it's better. Yes, definitely 100%. MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Safura and Safiya, my two favorite nieces, Safura and Safiya. That's my new nasheed, by the way. Safura. I have to, with my nephews and nieces, I have to come up with like a nursery rhyme to explain things to them, because then that's the only way you catch their attention. If you say the same thing without a nursery rhyme, they'll just look at something else. But if you say it with a nursery rhyme, they just keep focused on you. When you read alone, Jazakallah khair al-Majid for your kind donation. May Allah bless you in this world and the akhirah, and bless your daughters and sons. When you read alone, do you need to read the Fard aloud, Fajr, Maghrib? No, not according to Hanafis. Masir Ali, the points of a curriculum, how one is different, the purpose of the curriculums, how can you supplement that? Yeah, some good questions here, bro. Yeah, so how each curriculum is different. Point of curriculum and how to supplement curriculum. Excellent, excellent. Keep them coming, Masir. Zakir Hussein. Which ever book of ilm I tried to study, I couldn't move beyond reading the introduction and leave it for no reason. What is my problem? So there could be many issues here. See, when, for example, like you're reading a book, first of all, you have to remember you're not going to be interested in reading all books. That's the first thing you have to understand. Just because it's an Islamic book written by a scholar in the past, it doesn't mean you have to be interested in it. There are lots of books which I'm not interested in, and I might have some at home, and I might not. So what I would say is only try to read books that you're going to be interested in. Right. So get a book. Sometimes what happens to me is this: like yesterday, I was doing some research on. I'm actually doing some research on certain aspects of hadith, muhaddithin, Hanafi school, and like I came across a section. I was reading a book. I came across a section, and then as I was reading that section, I actually saw a reference for another book, and I looked up that book. I checked through there as well, and that's what happens in reading. You're going to be dipping in and out other books. There's going to be one main book that you're going to be interested in, but there's going to be other books that you need to know about, and you need to know what they've written. So reading introduction is very good. My advice would be if there is a book you're interested in, read the introduction and read the contents page, and then in your mind just try to have a map of what this book is about. And if you're not interested in the book, you can put it away, but at least you've got in your head a structure. And if you're interested, you need to structure your reading. So this is where I think it would be a good idea if people started like a group, a reading group. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't really have time to start a reading group, but if you had a reading group and you had someone leading the group, and then everyone else has to do a certain amount of reading, you're forced to do that reading. So let's say it was every week, 10 pages a week, you got to do reading. And then you're going to discuss that 10 pages or those 20 pages or 30 pages, whatever it is. That way you're forced into reading. I think that is good for those people who are not very self-motivated or who get distracted very quick, who have short memory spans or short attention spans. And the other thing is social media, it just destroys your attention span, honestly, because it's just your brain just quickly gets dopamine and you want that. So I would say you need to create for yourself like you force yourself, right, to read. Otherwise, what happens? You lose your motivation. That's a key. So in a nutshell, what I want to say basically is don't rely on your motivation, because your motivation will only last for a little while and then it fizzles away. Create yourself, once you have that motivation, create a structure for yourself and then force yourself into reading. That's what you need to do, and try it. You might want to read just 2 pages a day. That's it. Just 2 pages a day, 2 pages a day, and you have to maintain it. Send you an email, you're gonna love it. Send it, my brother. Send, my brother. Wa alaikum assalam, Irfan Sahib. Who are Salafis? So Salafis are basically a movement that attribute themselves to the early generation, the Salaf. Salaf means early generation. And they attribute themselves in regards to, usually it's regards to Aqidah points. So they claim that they follow the early generation in how the Aqidah was understood. And in fiqh, they usually follow like a madhab, most likely Hanbali madhab if it's the Saudi region. And, something like that. Yeah. So, but Salafi generally means those who claim to follow the Salaf. Now, obviously, all madhabs follow the Salaf, right? So all madhabs are technically Salafi as well. But this particular group, makes that claim that they are Salaf, and then, obviously, if they fulfill that and are truly following the first generation, it's a good thing, and if they're not, then it's obviously not a good thing. Also, they cause the ummah most trouble and are good for nothing. And not all Salafis are like that. I would say there are many of them that are like that. Yeah, who, like, unfortunately you have many who attack imams and will label things without really doing thorough research about things, unfortunately. And this is a sad reality of, and they might write books and they might say all sorts of people do say things about other individuals, but when it becomes like habitual attacking, habitually they're always on the attack, then that is a good thing. Ustad, I have an important question. I had a job with uh, Children's Trust and learnt a lot about child abuse, safeguarding, etc., and about my own childhoods. What are some ways to stay positive? Okay, the four imams were literally the Salaf. Yeah, it's true. True. Okay, so I don't know if I got your full question, A. So, I mean, look, if a person has gone through abuse when they were young, if they've gone through like physical, unfortunately being molested or have been injured, hurt, beaten, or have mentally being abused, this is unfortunate. This is a reality. This is something which I was even listening to the radio today, and there was like cases of this that they were talking about, and it does have an impact on your upbringing as well. So when you grow up, it has an impact on there because it's very difficult to kind of let go of that trauma. So, how do you deal with this? So I'm not an expert in psychiatry. I don't have the qualifications to be able to explain to people what to do. But I would just tell you, for example, like how I would deal with things. So, for example, when I was young in school, sometimes there was some case of bullying. Yeah, sometimes I got bullied. I've done a few times. Alhamdulillah, most of my time was okay, but a few times. So that kind of stays with you for a long time. I would say the best thing that really helped me in this was to gain confidence in being sort of like in meeting people, in even doing some exercises like doing some martial arts, or even like being more open about it as well. These are the kind of things that will help you overcome problems, or help me overcome problems. So these are the things that a person has to remember. If you've gone through problems in the past, don't just bury it away and think it's going to disappear. You need to try and get through it. You need to try and, like they say, um, overcome the trauma. Yeah, so it's overcoming is very, very important. And there's many ways. I mean, if you speak to your doctor, speak to a psychiatrist, maybe they'll be able to help you with that. But I'm saying this is how I kind of understood in my own life about these problems and how to overcome them. How do we know they ate right? Should we follow them? I asked because I bumped into someone. He gave a lecture. So you see, whenever it comes to following anyone, this is how we should look at it. There's two things we always look for. Always look for knowledge and always look for piety as well, uprightness. If you find someone who you know they are bad people, right? Even though they seem as though they're very knowledgeable, then don't follow them. And likewise, if you find someone who is not very knowledgeable, but they seem very pious, then don't follow them. Yeah, simple as that. What I would say is, if ever someone, like Salafis or anyone, comes to confronts you and asks you questions, answer their questions. But if they start putting doubts in you about why you follow this madhab or that, then that's silly. That is because the madhabs have been well established, institutes throughout history, and then all of a sudden, for someone to come now and find something which no one ever saw in the past is a bit silly, right? So it's a bit of a silly position. Or, for example, if they argue in your aqidah and they say to you, you have to believe in this particular aqidah in this particular fashion, then you say to them that obviously, is this something which this particular way that you're prescribing, is this something which is the way the Quran tells us, the way that the Prophet ﷺ told us, the way that the Sahaba told us, or is it your own particular interpretation of how we're doing this? I wouldn't get involved in arguing with like Salafis or others who are, I mean, Salafis who are very argumentative Salafis. Don't get involved because it's just a headache. Yeah, end of the day, I mean, usually what happens with Salafis is they start off very harsh and then later on they're mild, mild, mild. Eventually they become like just like normal people then after about 20, 30 years. Do you associate yourself with Deobandi ulama of Deoband? Yeah, I have many of my teachers are from the ulama of Deoband, and I I associate myself with the ulama Deoband, but I don't label myself as a Deobandi. As in, there isn't anything which in the Deobandi school says that this is what makes you a Deobandi. There's nothing. It's just Deobandi is the name of a locality, and madrasa was established there. But if that name is going to bring any sort of is going to bring any disunity, then this is totally wrong to use at all. Just like any name out there, it's totally wrong to use. So to affiliate yourself that because I graduated from a Deobandi madrasa, then of course, and prevent the devil's feel like it's because of parents' lack of care, which is why things happen, etc. Yeah, so that's what I try to answer. Wa alaikum assalam, Ghazala, ahlan wa sahlan. Gym helps. Yeah, gym helps positivity and confidence is very, very important. Having good company as well. It's really important to have good company. Anyway, right. Okay, I think I'm gonna finish it off there then. Jazakallah khair, guys, for I remember once this Salafi. I'll tell you a story about a Salafi that I had an argument with. I don't like getting into arguments, right? Because it's just a waste of time. Once he said to me, "Say the kalima la ilaha illallah," and I said, "Okay, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah." And he goes, "Where in the kalima does it say Abu Hanifa?" So I didn't understand. Like, what does he mean? Like, what do you mean Abu Hanifa? So I said, "No, there isn't any Abu Hanifa in the kalima." So then I said, he said, "Well, then why do you follow Abu Hanifa?" I go, oh, I understand what this guy's trying to get at now. Why do you follow the Hanafi school when the kalima doesn't say Abu Hanifa in there? I could have said loads of things to him and he wouldn't have an answer for. But then I just said, okay, what do you follow? And he said, I follow Quran and Sunnah. I go, do you know Arabic? He goes, no. I go, well, then you don't follow Quran and Sunnah. You follow a translation of Quran and Sunnah. Is that true? So he shut up. And then he said, yeah, but that's the only way I can understand it. I go, why do you lie to me then? You said you follow Quran and Sunnah. You don't follow Quran. You follow a translation. There's some guy there who was translating the Quran into English, translating the Hadith into English, and you're following him. So where's his name in the kalima? He shut up. And then I said, in fact, you're not even following the Quran and Sunnah. You're following interpretation of the Quran and Sunnah of a guy who's not even from the early generation. And then he kind of like went quiet and he goes, well, it's not, what can I do? He started to like apologize to me and said, look, I'm sorry for saying that. What can I do? How do I follow? I go, well, you shouldn't go around arguing with people, telling them that they are deviant. And I said to him, look, if you want to follow Quran and Sunnah, it's fine. I have nothing wrong with that. You should follow the Quran and Sunnah, but learn Arabic first, learn tafsir, learn hadith. And then once you learn all this and you want to follow Quran and Sunnah, that's fine. But to claim to other people, because I know that if he learns Arabic and he learns the Quran, he's going to take him so long to learn the Quran, so long to learn the hadith, and he's going to realize that following a madhab is actually the logical next step. So this is why he was like he didn't know what to say, and that's what I'm saying to you. A lot of people who are argumentative, a lot of Salafi brothers of ours, they are brothers, they're still Muslims. So a lot of the arguments that they bring is just to make other people belittle other people, unfortunately, right? Because they think they've been taught one way, they've just been taught this is a hadith and this is the only meaning of this hadith, and anyone who doesn't accept this meaning is a deviant. And you're going to say, well, how comes, okay, let's open up some books. How comes this hadith, there's like 4 or 5 meanings that can be taken from this hadith? And then they realize that this is the mistake they make, right? Because they've been taught, they've been like drip fed information like that. And then that's what happens. When you're drip fed information, you're always learning something new. Every day you're learning a new hadith. And then you're learning a new hadith. What about those people who have gone through all the hadith in the past? It's best just to rely upon what they say. Yeah, I have nothing against my brothers and sisters who are Salafi out there. If you follow Salafi movement and you are honest and you don't argue with other people, and you have love for Allah and His Messenger and the Sahaba, and you respect other experts out there, then you have my respect. But if you're going to go around bashing everyone and you think you're on the truth and you're like the saved sect and everyone else is deviant, then there's no point really debating these individuals. I have a question. Are the Salafis a sect? Yeah, in the sense that they follow a specific methodology. Should they call themselves that? If they want to, I mean, there's no wrong in calling it whatever you want to call yourself. You can call yourself. That one should be aware of. That one should be aware of. I don't understand. Ahmad R. Alaikum Assalam. Can you explain Hurmat Musahara and whether Hanafi still abide by it? Hurmat Musahara means, it basically means if you marry a woman, her mother-in-law, her in-laws, like her parents-in-laws, and her children-in-laws are haram for you, and your parents and your offspring are haram for her. Yeah, and if your children were to marry someone, then they are haram for you, and so forth. So basically, for a man, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, stepdaughter, and stepmother are all haram for you. And Hanafis have like this idea that if you, when does the musahara become necessary? Is it when you marry them, or is it if you have intimacy with them? Right. So if a person fornicates with a woman, the Hanafis say even then her mother will become mahram for him, her daughter will become mahram for him, and so forth. And his father will become mahram for her. If he has a child, he'll become mahram for the mother. And then what about if a person was to sexually touch another woman, or she touched him? And then Hanafi say yes, even then the musahara would. Uthman Ahmad, wa alaikum assalam, ahla wa sahlan. For a hafiz, you need to do imamat. How would you recommend learns Hanafi fiqh, imam and salat, so they are equipped for all different situations that can arise? Yeah, I mean, I don't know of any particular course for them, but definitely I would encourage them to learn it. You can go through my Kuduri videos maybe and follow them. Yeah, but definitely I would say for a person who wants to do imamat, they should go to a scholar and ask them to teach them fiqh of salat. Yeah, very important. They do argue and belittle. Can you suggest a good? Okay, I think I missed the question. But Salafi scholars like Saleh and Al Fawzan are fine to follow, right? I don't know. I mean, I haven't listened to them. I mean, do they go around bashing the imams and scholars and calling people innovators? Can you suggest a good book on fiqh in English? So, I mean, you can read Quduri translated into English. Yeah, Quduri translated into English. There's a book called Bidayat al-Mubtadi. Bidayat al, yeah, I think it's called Bidayatul. Where is it? I've got the book somewhere over here. Here, this is a translation. It's a very basic. Hang on one second. Let's see. Okay, I can't seem to find it. But anyway, Kuduri would be good. Yeah, Kuduri, very easy to follow. So translation of Kuduri you can follow. And even like Hidayah, if you read Hidayah in English, you can read it. But I'm not too sure about an English book on fiqh. I think there's a scholar in America, Maulana Farhan Zubairi, I think his name is Maulana Farhan Zubairi. He has some English books that he recently published, and I think one of them is fiqh in there. I haven't read them, but you can check over there. Yeah, check those out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you? I am very good, my brother. Thank you. And also, Mighty Killer, if you check Seekers Hub, yeah, Seekers Hub, they also have a lot of courses, free of charge courses in English. Wa alaikum assalam, Zamarur Sangaye. How are you? I'm very well, thank you very much. How are you enjoying your chill time? I was supposed to come up north last week. I was thinking of coming this week, but I just, because of the rains and everything. When speaking with friends, how do you guys figure out what to talk about? I never know what to start off. I think that's the whole point of friends, isn't it? You just talk about stuff. Yeah, that's the whole point about friends. Friends, you don't even have to think about what to talk about, because that is the you can say the byproduct of friendship. When you're with friends, you just naturally talk about things. I don't know, maybe. Oh, in Arabic. Yeah, so in Arabic, I would start off with like just choose a random thing. So have a list of topics to talk about, and then once you start, one topic goes on to another topic. So have a list of words, maybe in a hat, draw one out. How can you advise someone who believes it's okay to keep the Quran on the floor? Yeah, so again, so encourage them, say, I remember this happened once in Medina. We're sitting down in a Dars of Quran with a local scholar of Medina, and there was a guy, and he was just putting the Quran on the floor, and he got angry at him, and he told him, lift it up. Yeah, the Quran should be, respected, not put on places which are on the ground. So although it's not considered necessarily sinful to have the Quran on the floor, but it's considered to be something which, out of respect, the person should lift it up. Yeah. So, like for example, Allah mentions about Musa alayhi salam to take off your slippers, yeah, when entering into Wadi Tuwa. That shows that there are certain things that are considered sacred. Yeah, sacredness is in our religion. What contingencies can Muslim businesses put in place if a customer did not pay for the product on time or the deferred payment was not paid instead of riba? It all depends upon what type of business it is. They can maybe even, make them sign a document, an agreement to say that they will give in charity a certain amount if they don't pay on time. That's allowed as well. They can also possibly even, if it's like installments, they can also possibly say that if you don't pay the first installment on time, then all the rest of the money will be demanded immediately. So they can try some of those. If there's any business out there that want to have like a Sharia compliant business, I would definitely advise people to get in contact with Amana advisors. Amana advisors. So Mufti Faraz Adam, he runs that. Amana advisors. Contact them. I think they probably charge a fee as well, but they would be the best people because they could go through your whole business and they could tell you how to sort it out. Have you seen the book in English by Sheikh Imtiaz Dami called Principles of Islamic Studies? No, I haven't. How is it? Is it good? Please read my question. I think you missed it. Okay, what was your question? According to my understanding, I think I read in Quduri that if the sun rose during the Fajr prayer, the Salah is null according to Abu Hanifa and valid with the Sahibain. No, I haven't come across that. According to everyone, the Salat will be nullified. I have a Sheikh Farhan Zubairi's Usul Fiqh and Usul Hadith books in English, nicely explained. Yeah, so check those out. Are they good? Yeah, I need to send me some pictures of them. Any advice for a man who doesn't give nafaqah to his wife? The wife is struggling quite a bit and she doesn't want to divorce, asking on behalf of someone. You know what? That kind of stupid idiot that is, honestly. I don't want to kind of use bad language, but that's the kind of bad character Muslim that we don't want. That man is not willing to spend on his wife or his kids, yeah, for whatever reason. This is considered to be a type of dhulm that he's doing. This guy needs to be told, like someone needs to go up to the guy and tell him he's doing dhulm, not providing for his wife. And she obviously, if she doesn't want to leave the marriage, then that's obviously her choice. But she has a right to go to Islamic court or fiqh council and ask them for intervention. Yeah, it's sad to see that there's people out there who will be treating their wives or their children, and this is you probably think it's a rare case. Unfortunately, you find it a lot. The guys will be willing to spend money on their cars and their friends, but they don't spend it on their wives. Ustad, could you please go over the oneness of Allah like a 1 minute recap? I don't understand. Like go over. I mean, how can I go over oneness of Allah? Like, what do you mean oneness of Allah is one? Is that what you're asking? What I would suggest is check out my video on Surah Ikhlas. So on Surah Ikhlas, I've got a video. Ikhlas, I've done on Surah Ikhlas, and in there I've talked about the oneness of Allah. Yes, in fact, it's good you reminded me. So I'll just put up here. Surah Ikhlas. With regards to that, the lady asking that question, this is seriously, she's struggling a lot. She needs to get someone involved to intervene. Maybe like family members. For those not able to finish whole alim course, up to which year will be able to equip one with essential knowledge of Deen? I would say about up to year 5. So if you study up to year 5, then definitely. Actually, it's by Harun Virtain, Principles of Islamic Studies, 10 principles. Oh, okay. Anyway, guys, I'm going to finish it there. Jazakumullah khair for watching. And hope you guys have a wonderful time. Tomorrow, inshallah, I will see you guys for the Q&A at the same time as it is um, on what was it 9:45. Yeah, it was for that time. Bima Bays, wa alaikum assalam. How should I? It was page 94, Bushra Kuduri. Okay, I don't have Bushra. Bushra actually has multiple prints. So, so basically, according to Abu Hanifa and Sahibin, everyone agrees that if the sun rises, the salat will be nullified. I think you're probably talking about the masala of when does salat end, in the sense that if a person was to break their wudu, um, you know, um, if a person was to be in tashahhud and the sun rose, is that what you're talking about? Because in the middle of salat, everyone agrees the salat becomes nullified. And so if you're talking about that masala, that is, they call it the Ithna Ashariya masala, 12 masala. Because Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, I've explained this masala in my Kuduri, in fact. Yeah, so if I actually go to Kuduri, so let me see. Yeah, so this is not the 12 masala. So I'm sure you're talking about the 12 masala, because all Hanafis agree if the sun rises, salat becomes nullified unless it's after tashahhud. That's where there's ikhtilaf. Where is this masala? Covering the body, adhan, obligatory prayers, how to pray. 1, 2, 3, 4. How much good congregation? Breaking wudu in prayer. The 12 matters. Yeah, this is it. So this is the 12 matters masala. Check this out. Inshallah, you will enjoy this. Acha. The 12 matters. Yeah, so check that one. Check that one out. Okay, 94. Please remember your du'as. I will, my brother, inshallah, and you remember me. When you say study outside of Alim course, how do you know which books to study? So you get in contact with someone and you whatever you want to need to study. Like if you need to strengthen your fiqh or strengthen your tafsir or strengthen, how do you find them? That's the hard thing. You might have to pay someone. Online, you probably can find someone. There is a guy I know in Pakistan, if anyone wants to study. He's one of my class fellows. And he charges as a fee, but you can study with him any subject that you want. If you're interested, then email me at the bottom. I can get you in contact with him, and then you guys can discuss it with him. It was the page before the chapter starting on Qada Salas. Yeah, check that out. You're probably talking about the 12 matters masala. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, and take care. Inshallah, I will see you guys next time, and likewise on people on Instagram as well. Have a wonderful time. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Does he teach only in Urdu? He teaches in English as well, I think. You can contact him. You can speak to him. And, I mean, see how it goes. I don't know how much he charges. But maybe you can sort something out. He's in Pakistan. He's in Karachi. Like, he's competent. Like, I would say he's competent. Like, he's not someone who's, like, a waste of time. A competent guy, mashallah. All right, guys. Or maybe you have like a group of guys that want to study with him. That might be a group of guys, and then you chip in, and then that might be a good idea as well. Okay, take care, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.